Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bod Father, and as always, I bring you guys an awesome interview, and today it is an honor and privilege to have a local musician that's kind of took off here just a little bit since his high school days. He's a well-known musician. He's also been part of the Big Sandy Singers, Kentucky Opry Junior Pros, Mr. Colby O'Bryan. What's going on, Colby?
Nothing much. Just came from a gig straight here.
You started out here pretty quickly. You picked up guitar and everything pretty quick, man, from grade school to high school to now. So, I mean, let's talk about that a little bit. How does it feel to be part of the Big Sandy Singers and knowing your guitar playing has caught some attention with all this, man?
Well, of course I'm entirely grateful, but it's just, it goes to show how hard work pays off.
Yeah.
And all these opportunities that I've had here in the recent bit, I mean, really and truly, the last part of my senior year to now, it's been like a roller coaster ride.
Oh, yeah.
I'm forever grateful, and in debt to all these people who are giving me these opportunities, and it's just, I'm not opening big arenas, but, hey, I'm living the dream, getting to just, share music with everybody,
So being so young, do you feel pressure to bring new guitar riffs and music to listeners that follow you, man?
Yeah. Around here, there's not as big of a rock audience as, there is country. But I play some country every now and then, but I'm really blues based. So I kind of fit into into overall, or the everybody's audience rather, should I say. As far as writing goes, that definitely puts some pressure on me too. But, and I also have to constantly think, okay, I can't play the same set list for my gigs over and over and over. I got to bring something fresh every now and then.
Right.
And so, I definitely do feel some pressure.
Are you working on anything right now? Are you wanting to put out an album? Let's talk about that a little bit.
Well, yeah, I've been writing a lot. I seem to have more trouble writing lyrical material. I can write music all day long, but as far as lyrics go, I do a couple writing sessions with some fellow musicians, but mainly, I've written, I actually recorded a instrumental that I'm not too proud of now. At the time, this was a while back. At the time, I thought, man, I'm just shredding, but now I look back, I hear so many things that I could add to it, but, yeah, that's the goal. I would like to at least put out a 5-song EP.
What do you hope the supporters of your music take away from your open mic nights that get to come out and see you, plus playing at the MAC when they come out, man, to see you play?
I hope that they're entertained,
Right.
because that is my drug of choice. And that's what gets me high is whenever somebody comes up to me after a show and says, man, just watching you, either they say, it just was so fun watching you, or you made my day better, or you can just tell that people will tell me that they can just tell by looking at me that I love what I'm doing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And it feeds off, or it rubs off onto the audience. And that's what and I just hope they remember my name,
So how much local support have you gotten over the past few months? Because it seems like you've gotten a lot of local support from folks, man.
Well, like I was stating earlier, everything's kind of taken off for me, since the ending of, around the end of my senior year. And the biggest exposure that I've had, has been playing at the MAC, or Mountain Arts Center, rather, every weekend with the Kentucky Opry Junior Pros. And that's gotten my name out quite a bit. And, I've gained a fan base there, and then with just my gigs, with people following me on Facebook and all that, I've got quite a large local fan base.
Who has been your biggest influence in music, man, so far, other than Austin Lawson over here?
Oh. Well, he did teach me my first song on guitar.
He did. Smoke on the Water, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
I can't play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
Well, I can't play that either. I never learned it.
Yeah, so.
But anyway, who's been my biggest influence? Man. Well, let's see here. As far as vocally, I have a huge influence from Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Nice.
The legend. I mean, and my guitar playing as well. My guitar playing is a mix of Stevie Ray / and Eddie Van Halen. It's a mix of that. Because, as far as my riffing goes, writing riffs, there's a lot of Van Halen influence. And then in my lead playing, I'll do some tapping and that kind of stuff. And then also in my lead, you got the bluesy runs of Stevie Ray and / both. And I would have to say those guys are my three biggest influences.
So far, what's been your favorite experience being a musician? What's been one that's topped your goal for right now?
Oh, for right now, whenever I went to Nashville over the summer, in 2 days, my wife did a couple backflips or something. I went down there for some vocal lessons with the wonderful Renee Grant Williams, and she was so impressed, you could say, with me that she actually sent me down to the most famous honky tonk in the world, Tootsie's Orchid Lounge. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
Nope.
Well, I mean, it's Nashville, it's a country town,
Right.
But still, I mean, it's to give you an idea. People like Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash, Elvis, they've all been there at that bar, and she sent me down there and got me hooked up with the guy that runs all the entertainment things down there, and I got to play there. And then the guy that runs everything, he also wanted to take me down to another bar called Honky Tonk Central, and I got to play there. So and I didn't play no I Hear That Train A Coming. I didn't play any of that. It was Texas Flood, Mustang Sally. I brought some classic rock to Nashville. And people seem to dig it, So playing in Nashville has been my favorite experience so far.
The second part of this question really don't pertain to you that much, but do you prefer the digital era of recording albums? Do you like this era that we're in right now with music? I mean, I know as far as like recording, going into the studio and everything, I don't know if you.
I've had a little experience with recording. I mean, as far as like iTunes and so on goes, Well, no, I'll tell you this. The way I look at it, as long as the artist is getting compensated in some way, I'm cool with it. But when people illegally download stuff, that really makes me angry, because I can imagine if I was putting out music and I was getting ripped off, it's not to be mistaken for, I want money for making my music. That's what that person or artist is doing for a living. But, there's nothing's going to beat, a good old vinyl record.
How important is it to you to keep music alive in the hills and valleys of Eastern Kentucky, regardless if it's metal, horror punk, rock, blues, whatever? How important is it around here?
Well, just my opinion is, music needs to be everywhere, because there's such magic in listening to music or playing music or just being around music, because, one, I've met so many good friends that I've made through music. Two, music has really carried me through life, It's gotten me through some dark, dark times. It's, been there with me in happy times. It's just something that everyone needs in their life, not specifically Eastern Kentucky. But although I do believe that all genres need to be appreciated here rather than just, bluegrass or country. Yeah. All genres need to be appreciated because it's music.
I agree with that.
But music just needs to be everywhere.
So what made you want to become a musician? What was that spark for you that said, hey man, that's what I want to do?
Okay, well you ready to go on the journey of Colby O'Bryan? Okay, so I was in third grade.
Oh Lord.
I was in third grade, and my stepbrother, he was in this drum corps called the Madison Scouts. And that, that's marching drum corps. And he had a drum set at my dad's house. So I watched him, play it all the time. And it's your typical drummer story, beat on pots and pans and so on. And I was down there one day, and I was listening to Eye of the Tiger on my iPod. And I looked over at the drum set, and I thought to myself, wonder if I can play this. And I can't make this up. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but it was enough to get through. I literally went over to the set, sat down, and played Eye of the Tiger. So 10 years down the road, with playing drums, I get burnt out on drums. Well, not 10 years. I've been playing drums for about 11 years. Sophomore year in high school. We went from third grade to sophomore year in high school. I got sick of drums, and I still play drums every now and then, but I got so tired of them. So I'm like, I'm going to pick up guitar because my wonderful band teacher, I don't know if he'd want me to mention his name or not, Mr. Ricky Wells at Allen Central High School, he's a phenomenal guitarist and musician. And watching him made me really want to play guitar. So I went and got my first guitar. And, since I picked up guitar, I've picked up bass. And whenever I picked up guitar, I started singing too. So it's just kind of snowballed whenever I started guitar.
Funny part is Ricky Wells, my old band, we used to practice up there at his place.
Really?
Yeah, Stand Alone. A long time, very, very long time ago.
Yeah, I've practiced there a couple
Back
times
in the
too.
Moon's age, when all things were awesome. Everything sucks. So let's get to this. November 5th, you're opening for Stryver, man. Well, you're one of the bands that's opening for Stryver. So that's huge.
It's huge. I'm still floored about it. I've put a band together with a couple musicians. James Allen, he was a senior my freshman year. And then a couple guys that I met through the Kentucky Opry, Mr. Clark Sexton and Tyler Benz. Now, they're both down in Nashville right now playing music. But we are going to be playing under the name Night Tracks. And funny story, I got that name from an old nightclub that my grandmother used to have. Night Tracks. But yeah, I don't know what to think. It won't set in on me until I show up at the gig.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, I'm opening for Stryver. Because when they came with Lynch Mob a couple months back over there to Hazard, I went and seen them. And I was hoping to get to go back and meet them, but I didn't. And I was really, I was bummed out about it. But, Michael Sweet, he was sick that night. And, I just didn't want to intrude or anything. So you go from being all bummed out to a couple months down the road, hey, you're going to be opening for Stryver. And it's really awesome, too, because it's one of their, in my opinion, one of their bigger tours because it's the 30th anniversary of To Hell with the Devil.
Yeah.
Which is a phenomenal album.
People can make fun of Stryver all they want to, but they got some awesome albums out.
People really put them down for the whole religious thing, but I don't care. It's music, and like, for example, Soldiers Under Command. Are you familiar with that song?
Not with that song, but no.
Oh, man. The guitar riff, the opening guitar riff, is one of my favorite riffs ever because, excuse me, because it's so...
More editing.
It's so powerful. And, I don't know. I really don't know why people make fun of them. I mean, and I might get a lot of hate for this, but I don't know why people make fun of Nickelback.
Oh, no. Tell me you're not a Nickelback fan. Oh, no.
Why don't you like them? Look at this photograph. Every time I do it, makes me laugh. Yeah.
God,
well,
this interview's went to hell in a
there's
heartbeat.
some songs. I mean, really, there's some songs that, they're not too great. But there's a few songs that I really do like. But the reason why I guess I'm a fan of them is because that they were one of the first rock bands I listened to. So
I'll give you that.
you like what you were first introduced to, like AC/DC and Nickelback, and then Kiss. Lord, I was a huge Kiss fan.
You mentioned about Stryver, about the whole religion thing. Look at Ghost, guys.
Ghost
is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. I mean, they make them off as a satanic band, but I don't go for that. I just listen to the music, and they have great, great music that's out.
See, whenever I listen to music, sometimes I will listen to the lyrics and try to absorb the meaning. But with a band such as Ghost, if if I don't agree with a message, that's okay. It's music. It's that's
Yeah.
that's their thing. I mean, I wouldn't want to play that,
Right.
but that's their thing. But with those bands, I listen to, for example, how well the rhythm, the beat or the drums go with the rhythm that is intended, or the how the melody works with the guitar riffs. I listen to the musical aspects of it.
How can people stay in touch with you, man? Follow what you're doing, some of the shows that's coming up. Plus, if you ever put out an album out or whatever recording, how can they do this, man?
Well, right now, all I have is just add me on Facebook, because I don't have a page or anything yet, but I need to get to work on that. But yeah, just search up Colby O'Bryan. I mean, the profile picture, it should be me playing guitar. My profile is just nothing but guitar and music. So, and I mean, I don't care to add anybody. It's just, because that's the only way I have for people to follow me.
You're selling tickets right now for the Stryver event too,
yes.
right?
It's November 5th at 7:30, I believe. No. I don't remember the time exactly, but I know tickets are $35 each.
Okay. Before you leave here, I want you to do a promo for me. Just say this is Colby O'Bryan, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
This is Colby O'Bryan, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour. Wow!
Everybody stick around. We got some great music coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and Uber City Radio. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Colby.
Thank you.